Okay guys, I would like to welcome back to another video from AWA Tactical Ballistics. We really haven't made any videos in a long time. Some of us haven't really been up to it, or trying to decide which videos to make. Seems like the pistol videos do pretty good, but the shooting ones obviously do a lot better. But in this video I'd like to kind of move into 1911s. I know we have another 1911 one on our page, but that one was the 6 hour. This is a couple other brands of them, but that one may be in mid-range a little bit. It's not a Wilson Combat or a Nighthawk, but it's up there in price, and they have 1911s. The thing about them, they've got a full range of them, so I could say this is mid-range, but to somebody else it could be something different. But this, basically what I have here are two examples of, just kind of a standard single stack mag, Taurus 1911, just kind of your standard one. This one actually is unloaded and everything. Both of them are really. And then I also have one from Para that is a double stack 1911. It's got a lot more done to it. I believe this one's a customized one, so it's pretty awesome. But what I'll do is I'll start from kind of the lower end one, and then we'll move on to that one, because that one has a lot more information on it than the just the standard one. I mean, 1911s are kind of like you can do. There's all sorts of stuff you can do to 1911s. They're almost like ARs in the same spec. They're so old and they're so widely used that there are so many different ways to customize them. From grips to whatever. So everything can be different, and everybody's price range could be different as far as mid-range or whatever. But I'll go ahead and I'll start out with the Taurus. When you get this gun from Taurus, they do, just like my PT-809, they do include a case. This one, of course, they always include extra mags and everything. This one actually came with two magazines. This third one, we've actually got a third and a fourth one. These are both Kimber mags. They fit in there. They don't have the rubber on the bottom like the stock ones do, but they still hold about the same amount. And they include a brush, chamber brush, or a barrel brush. And then they also, Taurus, on just about all their firearms, have that safety key. That's a pretty nice case. It's a hard case. Not a lot of companies, especially mid-range or cheaper ones, will give you a case. Hard case. It's not bulletproof or nothing, but it's good enough to carry the gun into the range and everything. But we can look at the gun here. This one, it's a little bit more than standard to me. There's certain things on here that don't usually come with just a out of the box, off of the line gun to me. There's this one, I believe, it's got a ambidextrous safety on there, ambi safety. That's obviously not always on a 1911, no matter what. I mean, like I said, there's so many different parts. I believe this one was bought used, so people could have added parts to it. The grips are obviously from Taurus. They've got the Taurus on there, but this one in particular, just your standard single stack mag 1911. I kind of like it. A lot of people don't like Tauruses, but everybody has their own taste. I mean, some people just like the difference between Wilson Combat and Nighthawk. Everybody has their choice between them. To me, any gun pretty much is a good gun as long as it shoots and shoots well. But they all have their pluses and minuses. Their price range. But I kind of like 1911s. I don't have any problems with them. A lot of people are like, oh, I like a Glock over a 1911, but who cares? They're all guns. Just have fun with them. Obviously, always be safe. But this one, I hadn't really noticed this before for some reason, but this one's got the grip in the front of the slide and on the trigger guard done, the serrations. Because I didn't realize that was actually on there, but that really doesn't come on stock ones very often either. It's also got it on the back of the grip here. And then of course it's a 1911, so it's got the grip safety on the back. does a fairly good job of, you know, meeting with the frame. It's not exactly there, but anyway, this is just kind of a standard 1911. Obviously, it's chambered in 45 ACP. It's everything standard about it. This one came with Novak sights. It's just got your standard two dots in the back, 1 dot in the front. Also got just standard slide cuts for your cocking cuts on there. You also have the front on this one. I don't use those that often, but you know, it's nothing wrong with that. They're like I said, it's a standard 1911. I do like this trigger. It seems like it's pretty light, really. You know, it's not a custom light, but you know, maybe not as light as I thought it was. But it's light enough that, you know, somebody starting off is not gonna, yeah, somebody's not gonna be fighting it. You know, it's a 45, so it's gonna give it a little bit of a kick, but it's a pretty good gun. You know, I don't have any problems with them. They fired every, you know, reloaded round or whatever we put into them. A little bit of oil on it from whatever, but this one's just, like I said, it's a standard. Give you an idea of what they start out with as far as 1911 ranges go. It's, you know, it's not been really customized as far as, you know, hand fitting the slide or, you know, any of the barrel parts or anything. This one I don't believe has a match barrel in it. It's just your standard barrel. Yeah, you can see the little, I don't know if you can read it, probably not on the camera, but it says 45 ACP right there. Obviously with that big freaking hole there in the end, you would know that it's 45, but you know, I like it. It's a fairly good gun to mess around with, take to the range. Personal defense gun. You know, it's not real wide, so you can put a standard holster and have, you know, use it as a carry gun. I mean, obviously it's a 1911. It's a little big to be using a carry gun, but you can use a side holster, or, you know, one that you could fit under a longer shirt, and you'd be all right. But I really do like 1911s. They're just that old time, but never gets old look to them. I really do like those serrations on the front of the. You know, it doesn't have top serrations or anything like. But like I said, it's just a, you know, standard 1911. There's nothing real special about it. The ambi, that's the only ambidextrous thing on there is the safety. You know, it's, you do it from either side if you want to. The mag release isn't ambidextrous, which kind of negates the fact of having this, because if you have it in this hand, you'd have to push it with your pointer finger. But other than that, it's pretty good gun. I don't know. But we'll move on from this one. I just noticed it's got little serrations cut in the safety as well, or not the safety, but the mag release. But we'll move on to the really, I would say, a lot more customized one. We'll move on to the Para. I like this gun, but I like the Para a little bit more. Now, the Para hasn't been shot nearly as much as this, so it's gonna, if it looks like I'm a wuss because I'm pulling back on that spring, you know, whatever. I try to be as careful as I can with that gun. I know guns are made to be shot and all that, but this one kind of has a story behind it. I'll do a safety check on it. The serrations on the side are not very deep, so you kind of have to grip it pretty hard to get it to do it. But safety check, no magazine, nothing. This one is kind of done in a flat, dark earth color. It's got that tactical rail there on the bottom. Like I said, it's a double stack mag. I really hadn't seen one like that in a while, but it's pretty cool. I'll show you actually one of the magazines too. I forgot to show you the case. The case that they send you with it, it's a pretty BA looking case here. Pretty built up case. Let's see. It doesn't look as big as the Taurus one, but it holds a lot more stuff. Now, there are magazines in here with ammo in them. I'm not going to pull those out. These don't have any bullets in them. I believe this is an extended mag. I'm going to go ahead and pull that one out. They usually send you, I believe, with 2 magazines. This one might have came with 3. Yeah, 3, because these, yeah, they're all paramags. Yeah, one that goes in the gun, and there's 2 extra slots. So it comes with quite a bit. You know, it doesn't have like a chamber brush, nothing like that, but you know, you could pick up those brushes anywhere, especially after money to spend on that. But you know, I don't know exactly how many this holds. I want to say it's like 10 or 12 because it's like a ridiculous amount. But the I dropped it there. It's been hell in a while. But this, you know, the Para, it's more of a customized look to it. This one's actually a special option that they gave troops whenever they were going to Iraq, or you know, actually any veteran, I'm sure. It's a single action 1911, just like the other one. This one actually has a match barrel. Has that tactical reel, like I said before. It has a different type of serrations on the front of the grip here. The back has I guess it has an extended spring housing there. Yeah, looks like it sticks out a little bit further. Yeah, that one's like a flat one. That one probably gives you a little bit more grip on the palm there. Yeah, you can feel it just set right into the palm of your hand. But this one, I like this one because it's kind of got a story on it. This was actually, there's two of these that are exactly alike. The guys that had them built both went to Desert Storm together, and also the Operation Iraqi Freedom. Right before they went over there and went ahead and had this made. That actually right there says Purgatory on it, and it's just kind of a fun deal. It's not like it's, you know, going to be, you know, it's, if you're going to have a gun built, you're going to put whatever you want on the side. You know, it's got the I'm not sure what the coating is, but none of it seems to be coming off, even on the rails on the inside or whatever. But I like this one. This is one of my favorite guns that we have, mainly because just how heavy it is and how well it's built. This is kind of a lighter one compared to the two. I mean, it's a little. This is a lot heavier, obviously, because of the wider frame, the double stack mag capabilities. You know, it's got a tougher spring in it. I mean, it's, good lord, it's ridiculous because it still hasn't been shot a whole lot. This also comes with Trigicon sights on there that glow in the dark. They work pretty well. I haven't had a chance to use them in the dark, obviously, but I mean, they stick out there pretty good. It's got that slide cut on the top, so kind of give you a sight relief on there. It's also, I hadn't seen this a whole lot. Instead of a hammer, really, it's got a little like flap. Still got the firing pin in there, you know, and everything, but I just thought it was odd that it had the flap instead of the actual hammer you could, you know, lay down. It's totally different. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about that, but I mean, that's just because it's so different than what I've seen. There's also a picture back here. It's the 217th. That's the regiment they're in, or regiment, or whatever, guard, National Guard group they're in. But I believe this one was it's a field artillery division. But it's you know, this gun is just awesome. When you take it out and shoot it, they really put some extra effort into the sighting. We haven't had to adjust the sights. It's got front adjustable side, windage, and then obviously in the back you can adjust it. But of course, there's no elevation on either one of them. Doesn't necessarily have to have it. It's a handgun. It's not a sniper rifle. This one actually does have the ambidextrous safety. I think this is a different part than what came from the company. The safety is because the paint on the safety is starting to wear a little bit, and you know, probably gonna have to have that recoated with something, just because it's, you know, it's such a special gun. I don't want to wonder why that film it looks like it's backwards. Anyway, the point here is that these are two different views of a 1911. The 6 hours is a completely another view. The point here basically is just to kind of show you the different options that you have with 1911s. You know, this is gonna look stupid, but you know they're just a little bit. One's a little bit wider than the other, obviously because of double stack mag frame. This one doesn't have the rail, but this one does. The trigger's a little bit different on this one. The trigger is actually really, it's almost like a double action before it goes back to the actual trigger pull, and it's a lot different than the standard 1911. But you know, it's got the ambidextrous safety. It doesn't have the ambidextrous mag release, but it does have that extended mag that puts quite a few in there. I still can't remember how many it is, if it's 10 or, but it holds quite a few. You know, if you want to put hollow points, whatever in there, gives it a pretty distinct look though. You know, it's it's freaking serious whenever it gets in there. But you know, a lot of people give 1911s crap and whatever, but they've got so many choices. I mean, you've got so many things you can do to a 1911 that just you can't do to a whole lot of guns. I mean, unless it's a Glock, where they have special stores for that. But if you wanted to take a Glock down to Wilson Combat or Nighthawk and say, I want you to customize this or whatever, I'm sure they would help you out a little bit. But you know, they make specific parts for 1911s. You know, they're going to do their best they can for you, and you know, everybody's got their own opinions on either one of those. But you know, we live right down the road from them, so those are the two examples that I'm going to use. But the you know, just the these two guns are just some awesome guns. I thought I'd show y'all. You know, I got a chance to get a hold of both of them at the same time, so I don't want to make it look like, you know, oh, we've got guns everywhere, but it's just fun stuff, informative stuff, really. You know, just to show you all the different types of options you have in 1911s. I mean, that 6 hour that my friend did in there, you know, that's his 1911 that he likes. There's nothing wrong with that. It's also a very, very heavy framed gun, which is good because the 45 has a lot of kick to it. So I mean, some could argue with that, obviously, but, you know, 45 is a big round, whatever, some people are different. But I personally like, you know, both of these, really. You know, it's just your standard 1911 you could carry, or, you know, if you really want to call this this isn't really a range gun or nothing. I mean, I think this gun's probably been fired a couple of times. It's one of the, I guess you'd call it a safe queen, because it, you know, you don't, like I said, it's got a twin to it. There's no reason to really take it out and shoot it too often. You don't really have to. It's more of a gun that's designed to be a collector's item for a family, you know, passed down to their kids or something like that. But I don't think it's gonna be passed down to me or the people's kids or anything like that. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but this is definitely something that you would. I mean, 1911s in general would be something that you would want to teach your kids about, because they have a lot of history behind them. 1911s, you know, they're used in the military. They were used everywhere. I mean, everybody uses 1911s for competitions. They've got customized 1911s everywhere. It's just like if you wanted to teach your kid about the M16, the AR, the M14s, the 1903 Springfields, the M1 Garands. I mean, those are good items to teach your kids about, or your family, or, you know, if you're all into guns, because there's a history behind all of them. That's why I think a lot of people get pointed in direction to 1911s when it comes to pistols. You know, it's just a good American gun. I mean, everybody, you know, will usually like a 1911. You know, it's whether they say right off, they're like, oh, I don't like a 1911 because it's 45 or whatever, which is kind of crap, because you can get 1911s that are chambered in 9mm, 380, not 380, 38 Super, you know, even 22 long rifle, you know, if you really wanted a little bit cheaper, a lot cheaper round than a 45 ACP. But, you know, they've got so many things you can do to them that people will buy these guns forever, and that's why wait lists are so long for like Nighthawk. I mean, I think Nighthawk the other day was like 2 years behind, and like even Wilson Combat, they're like 2 years behind because people will still buy these guns because, I mean, especially those, because they put so much work into them, so much work. I mean, it's insane how much the difference is between a hand-fitted gun 1911 and just a standard off the shelf. I mean, this one's, I mean, you're getting close with the Paris. The slide action is a little bit, it's still a little rough, even compared to a Wilson. I mean, that hand fitting, there is no comparison to that. I mean, they probably, you know, fit this one pretty good, but I mean, even that would have been, I think, too much for the guys at Wilson or Nighthawk. I mean, they both have good feel to them, and they both do whatever. But you know, those high-end guns, they put so much work into them. That's the major difference, is the amount of work. This one has a cool paint job on it and everything, but once you get down to it, it's like, how much work do they actually put into it? I mean, it's like mid-range or low-range, kind of sort of mid-range, and then you have the Wilsons, the less power, all these that are the, you know, standard, the like, that's what everybody tries to be like, that's what everybody wants to, whatever. So this video is mainly just to give you just a view of a couple of 1911s that I like, you know, that we've taken out and shot a couple times, and you know, they're good home defense guns. Obviously, a 45 is a big caliber to carry around with you, but it's got some stopping power, it's got some punch, so it's worth its weight in gold whenever you get down to it. You know, put hollow points in there, or you know, whatever, and they do a pretty good job. I mean, I have no complaint about a 1911, not at all. So, but just thought I'd take a video, show you all a little bit. These don't have any special barrel, you know, crowning or anything. The barrel's awfully thin. My only complaint, and this really can't really be a complaint, is, you know, this one if I had to take it apart, I can pretty much do it with my thumb. A lot of people just use a magazine and, you know, push down on the end, and you can do the stuff or whatever. That way you don't cut up your fingers. But it seems like on this Para, if I go to clean it, that's like razor sharp, and that's really my only pet peeve on any 1911 is that that plug right there at the end of the barrel that they use to hold the barrel nut on is just, or barrel lug, I guess, is kind of ridiculous. I mean, it chops right into your hand. You can see even I've barely really pressed on that. It was like a knife blade. But you can also see with that match barrel, the barrel on this one's incredibly thick compared to that other one there. I don't know if you can really tell on there, but yeah. Anyway, can't really tell on there. I don't know if I'll get to do a shooting video of these. You know, the way everything's going, or the way everything's going on in the world right now. I don't know if I really want to shoot a whole lot of ammo up right now. I'm just saying. But I know that's a horrible saying. But I'm hoping that I can, you know, nothing goes the way that everybody expects it to go and whatever, and we'll just be able to use these guns for fun rather than whatever else they have to be. You know, you never want to have to use them, never have to necessarily use them for self-defense, or, you know, you never want to, you know, if it ever comes to that, you know, be damned. But these are just a few, like I said, this is just an informative video, just to give you a couple different deals, and you know, that's about it. I don't have a whole lot to talk to on them. I mean, I do love these guns, so, but just, you know, always remember, subscribe to our channel. I noticed I had a couple more subscribers, so just thought I'd make another video. So I got to cut in the slide there for the case whenever it comes out. Anyway, these are you know, my take. This is my take on 1911s. Some people could have a different opinion on them, or you know, whatever. But I like them. Heck, I like any gun. So if it was a Glock or, oops, sorry guys, if it was a Glock or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're all fun guns. But you know, I like 1911s. I have no problem with them at all. Just like I said though, I'd take any gun out and shoot it. So, but like I said, subscribe, enjoy our videos. I will be making more. You'd be lucky if I don't make another one after this. This one, but because now that I've made one, it's like a drug, and I'll continue to make some more of them. But yeah, like I said, subscribe, like, do whatever on our videos, and we'll hopefully make some more. But see you guys later.